Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Prabhakta Vinaya Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Prabhakta Vinaya Anatandasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा तदा मह्यं ददाति स्यापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं सजीवं साधयतं साधभूतं परिजनसं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण प्रदान सहगण श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्ते तत्र काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि पिता सिंह Namo Shivadaya Krishna Visavite Adavitya Shri Giri Sami Siddhartha Devas Inharivan Buddhist Chakra Namo Shivadaya Krishna Visavite Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paschal Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayati Girim Yatpupatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinasaram Jai Shri Prabhupada Jai. So we are reading the Snow's Nectarine Pastimes of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so the glories of Shri Chaitanya Nityananda. Who are they? So we read text 14. Logicians say unless one gains understanding through logic and argument, how can one decide upon a worshipable deity? So we should know who is a worshipable deity, and the method used is logic and argument. So Krishna Das Kaviraj says, if you are indeed interested in logic and argument, please apply to the mercy of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you do so, you will find it to be strikingly wonderful. So let's decide who is the worshipable deity through logic and argument. And Krishnadas Kaviraj has given us huge description, proof about Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, the Panchatattva, who they are. So it goes beyond logic. There is logic and then it goes beyond logic. We can't fully understand unless Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reveals himself. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments on this connection that people in general with a narrow-minded conception of life create many different types of humanitarian activities, whether humanitarian activities inaugurated by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or different. For logicians who want to accept only that which is proven through logic and argument, it is a fact that without logic and reason, there can be no question of accepting the absolute truth. Unfortunately, when such logicians take to this path without the mercy of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they remain on the platform of logic and argument and do not advance in spiritual life. However, if one is intelligent enough to apply his arguments and logic to the subtle understanding of the fundamental spiritual substance, he will be able to know that a portion of knowledge established On the basis of material logic cannot help one understand the absolute truth, which is beyond the reach of imperfect senses. Achintya khalu bhava natam tarkena yojayat. Mahabharat Bhishma Parva 5.22. So this must be Bhishma Dev speaking. How can that which is beyond the imagination or sensory speculation of mundane creatures be approached simply by logic? Logic and argument are very poor in spiritual strength and always imperfect when applied to spiritual understanding. By putting forward mundane logic, one comes to the wrong conclusion regarding the absolute truth. And as a result of such a conclusion, one may fall down to accept a body like that of a jackal. My God, we become a jackal. Jackal? Why jackal? What's the characteristic of a jackal?
Duplicitous, I suppose.
Duplicitous? Cunning, right? You said jackals are cunning. So meaning that meaning cunning meaning they're very intelligent. So human beings who have too much logic and they apply logic to the spiritual realm, they become jackals or jackal-like. So here we find in the first sentence, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments in this connection that people in general, in their narrow-minded conception of life, create many different types of humanitarian activities. But the humanitarian activities inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are different. So, para upakar, everybody wants to do para upakar. But there is here, so Prabhupada is speaking about those who are narrow-minded. They create many types of humanitarian activities, like give food to the poor, open hospitals, give this, give that, and they criticize, they say, why you're opening temples and diverting people's money to temples, right? That's what they say, instead of giving, to temples, why not give to hospitals? Why not give to poor people? So this is their conception of humanitarian activities. So what is the logic that, and Mahaprabhu, he told his disciples to bring back the deities, right? To bring back deities, and so many temples were built for the worship of those deities. And people came by the thousands to the temples. And this is considered a better type of humanitarian activity. But those one, so it doesn't, to the logician, it doesn't make sense. Why should I take money, throw at a stone marble idol, when here's a living man who's poor, he's in hospital, I should give my money there. Why should I throw? That's the logic, right? That's their logic. So therefore, the logicians and those who follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they can't meet. The ideas can't meet. Despite all this, those who are actually inquisitive to understand the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, full logic and argument are welcome. Okay, so after saying, these logicians, they become jackals because their conclusion is invariably imperfect. Despite all this, those who are actually inquisitive, Why Prabhupada is saying actually inquisitive?
Meaning they are open-minded and they want to know something deeper.
Yes, yes. The Jigyashu, right? They're actually, so they're pious people, they're ignorant, but they are ready to learn. Whereas the cunning jackal, what do they want? I
They just want an excuse to do whatever they want to.
gave the example of the temple, right? And make people waste their money there instead of they can accumulate all their money and give it in hospitals or wherever. Right. What's the difference between the two? Speaking of logicians here, right?
The first class, the jackals, they've already accepted that, they will not, whatever happens, they will not accept the logic of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They have made up their mind. But the second class, the second one, they are okay, we are open to understanding. We are also logicians, but we will try. Like Prakash
Yeah.
said.
They are innocent. All right. The second one is innocent. They're pious, innocent, and ignorant. Whereas the logicians, they are actually miscreants. Namam Biskritino Buddha Propagante, Naradhama, Mayaya Pahita Dhyana, right? Their logic, their knowledge is completely perverted and captured by Maya, and they want to prove that God doesn't exist, and then it's always a competition. Who will win? Those who are pro dharma or those who are antagonistic to dharma. So they will preach their philosophy, but push it, and we can see across the world, people are becoming more and more agnostic, if not atheist. Agnostic meaning they don't know whether it's true or not, whether God exists or not. So they're borderline, and they prefer to just remain on the fence indefinitely, not deciding what is the truth. So despite all this, those who are actually inquisitive to understand the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through logic and argument are welcome. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami addresses them. Please put Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy to your crucial test. And if you're actually a logician, you will come to the right conclusion that there is no personality more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. Let the logicians compare all the results of other humanitarian work with the merciful activities of Lord Chaitanya. If their judgment is impartial, they will understand that no other humanitarian activities can surpass those of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone is engaged in humanitarian activities on the basis of the body. But from the Bhagavad Gita, we can understand Antavanta ime deha nitya shutta sharirinaha. The material body is ultimately subject to destruction, whereas the spiritual soul is eternal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philanthropic activities are performed in connection with the eternal soul. However one tries to benefit the body, it will be destroyed, and one will have to accept another body according to his present activities. If one does not therefore understand the science of transmigration, but consider the body to be all in all, his intelligence is not very advanced. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, without neglecting the necessities of the body, imparted spiritual advancement to purify the existential condition of humanity. Therefore, if a logician makes his judgment impartially, he will surely find that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Mahavadanya Avatar, the most magnanimous incarnation. He is even more magnanimous than Lord Krishna himself. Lord Krishna demanded that one surrender unto him, but he didn't distribute love of Godhead as magnanimously as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Sri Rupa Goswami offers Lord Chaitanya his respectful obeisances with the words, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurav Krishe Namaha. Lord Krishna simply gave the Bhagavad Gita, by which one can understand Lord Krishna as he is. That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is also Krishna himself, gave people love of Krishna without discrimination. So, okay, what did you get from this paragraph? Who will tell me? This is all about humanitarian work.
That Lord Chaitanya gave a process which not only takes care of the body but also does the highest good for the living entity. And therefore, if an open-minded logician approaches and compares Lord Chaitanya's philosophy with anything else in the world, he'll find that Lord Chaitanya is the most magnanimous to have given this process.
Okay, now, how did Lord Chaitanya take care of the body? Bodily necessities. How did he take care? That's the challenge thrown, right? Spiritualists. So how did he take care of the body?
Is it through Varnashram Dharma
Yeah.
or is it?
Yeah.
No, he said you take care of the necessities of the body.
Yeah. So how did he do it?
Prasadam.
Shah, yes. Just following the four related principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. These four will keep in good health. All right? Just following this. Four. Having a regulated lifestyle, getting up early in the morning. This is all the prescribed duty, right? In Bhakti Yoga. Get up early in the morning, go to bed early, sleep, eat simple, be in good sangha, chant the holy name. This is basically the process, right? So the other thing, the niyam that we are following actually keep us in good health. So therefore, who we are giving money in the hospital, those who liver, right, who have eaten up their liver, right? That's what we do. They take drugs, they get intoxicated, and then you say, okay, instead of giving to Krishna, right, let me go and give to save somebody's liver, right? And somebody who's working overtime, they're in stress. Those who, however much you invest in them, they again go back and do the same sinful activities. Isn't it? Every doctor knows this. Few doctors are here. Know very well. This is what they do. They go against the laws of hygiene. They go against the law of nature. To die, everybody has to die. And how you die? What do? You run in the wrong company, right? Asat Sangha Tyaga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction is Asat Sangha Tyaga. You give a wrong company, you will have less need for money, because when you're in Asat Sangha, they suck out all your money. Isn't it? How to maintain such a prestigious position, you have to always show you have this. Simple living, high thinking. So, yeah, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, without neglecting the necessities of the body, meaning, okay, you sleep, You need to sleep, you sleep. You don't say don't sleep. You need to eat, you eat. You don't say don't eat. You need to mate, yes, get married. You have to produce children, yes, produce children. Make them Krishna conscious. So, without neglecting the necessities of the body, imparted spiritual advancement to purify the existential condition of humanity. You exist. You exist. What do you do with your life? Like right now, what we are dealing with, is becoming more and more a raw reality here, where we are in the urban case, right? When the teenagers or the little other teenager chicks want to relax, they don't want to do any hard work. No hard work. Everything easy. We call it the one-child syndrome. Only one child. So everything, all your wealth, all your attention is poured. Both husband and wife, everybody working for one person who has everything. And when you try to give them a little bit of work, they're aramse. Completely aramse. Right? So this point. But that spoiling is not going to last long, because very soon the harshness of the material world will hit them. So all these calamities that's happening everywhere. So this is due to this logician who's only thinking, okay, let's relax. Let's do anyway, that's another philosophy. What you call the philosophy then? Is that mammoist? How you call that? That you just enjoy life? That
Karma
is the,
mimamsa. Mimamsa.
yeah, I'm speaking the English terms, just enjoy life irreligiously.
Mammonism, Mataji, greedy pursuit of riches.
Yeah. I wasn't able to pronounce the words. Yeah, just enjoy life. But it looks like it sounds same like karma mimamsa, right? The other one is just enjoy life irreligiously. That one, karma mimamsa, is enjoy life religiously. It looks like the word is coming from the same source. So, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Karala Vichar. How merciful is Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? If you will just think about it. Text 16. Bahu janma kare yadi shravana kirtana tabuna tana pai Krishna kare prema dhana. Okay, all right, Indira Radha, you want to read this? Is very famous, extremely famous.
Hare Krishna.
Mm.
If one is invested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of his chanting. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says in this connection that although one may go on chanting the Hare Krishna mantra for many, many years, there is no possibility of attaining the platform of devotion service unless one accepts Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One must follow strictly the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given in the Sixtashtaka 3. Trinadapi sunicena tarodapi sarus. Iva Shahishnuna Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. One who follows this direction, being freed from the 10 kinds of offenses, becomes successful in Krishna consciousness and ultimately reaches the platform of loving service to the personality of Godhead. One must come to the understanding that the holy name of the Lord and the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself are identical. One cannot reach this conclusion unless one is offenseless in chanting the holy name. By our material calculation, we see a difference between the name and the substance, but in the spiritual world, the absolute is always absolute. The name, form, qualities, pastime of the absolute are all as good as the absolute himself. Thus, one is understood to be an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead if he considers himself an eternal servant of the holy name, and in this spirit distributes the holy name to the Lord, to the world. One who chants in that spirit without offenses is certainly elevated to the platform of understanding that the holy name and the personality of Godhead are identical. To associate with the holy name and chant the holy name is to associate with the personality of Godhead directly. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is clearly said, Sivan Mukhi Hi Jivado Swayam Eva Spurati Ada. The holy name becomes manifest when one engages in the service of the holy name. This service is in a submissive attitude, begins with one tongue. Sevan mukhe hi jivado. One must engage his tongue in the service of the holy name. Our Krishna consciousness movement is based on this principle. We try to engage all the members of the Krishna consciousness movement in the service of the holy name. Since the holy name and Krishna are non-different, the members of the Krishna consciousness movement not only chant the holy name of the Lord offenselessly, but also do not allow their tongues to eat anything that is not first offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord declares, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo Me Bhaktya Prayachati Tad Aham Bhakti Upaitam Asnamami Prayathatmana. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Bhagavad Gita 9:26. Therefore, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness has many temples all over the world, and each and every temple, the Lord is offered these foods. On the basis of his demands, the devotees chant the holy name of the Lord offenselessly and never eat anything that is not first offered to the Lord. The functions of the tongue in devotional service are to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and eat prasadam that is offered to the Lord. Jai.
Okay, so many points there. Okay, just tell me what are the points in this purport.
One
This
that
is
you
Ravi.
have to chant. Huh? You're asking me or?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, tell me,
Oh, okay.
Mira.
Chant offenselessly and use your tongue to chant offenselessly and eat prasadam. And also
Yes.
that the names and forms and qualities of the pastimes of the absolute in the spiritual world is absolute. So it's the same. The Lord and the name is the same. who is Prasadam, I suppose. Oh,
Yes.
so this is what I carry away from this verse.
Yeah. This is all about the tongue, right? Chanting
About
and
the tongue. Yeah.
chanting and tasting.
Tasting Prasadam.
So, so this chanting, so it's not just like things that karma mimamsa, it's karma kanya. So when they're reciting the mantras, for them it's only sounds, and it's not actually the deity. Whereas in Bhakti Yoga, the sound is actually the deity. And Prabhupada is saying that the name we are associating with Krishna directly.
So Mataji, till I cannot chant offenselessly, I cannot realize that the holy name and the Lord is the same.
Yes, so how to chant offenseless is given here. How?
Nadapi
But
Suni
still you
Chena.
have to
Yeah.
chant. Yeah.
Nadapi. Nadapi Suni Chena Taruri Vasudeshana. Manena, Manadena, Kirtana Sada. Ready to offer all respect to others and not taking respect for oneself. It's very
But that doesn't mean that we should stop chanting because we are chanting offenselessly. We should continue to chant
yeah.
until we come to the stage where we are offenseless.
Naturally, like we don't have, this is like the stage of practice trinadapi, sunichi. But as we become more and more able, more like practice in our chanting, as we associate more and more with Krishna, then more the ahankar will go away. Then naturally we will become humble. So beginning, we are not feeling very humble. We are not able to act humbly also. But as we progress, humility will naturally develop. Why will humility develop? Because I realize I'm insignificant.
Yeah, exactly.
And what a big fool I am that I have come in this material world, where everybody's competing for supremacy. And I have joined the pack, to compete. The competition, I'm being crushed. I'm being crushed. Anyway, I don't want to speak too much about the mundane situation, but it is very, very pathetic. Extremely.
Among devotees, there is no humility. They fight.
Studying chapter 14 of the 5th canto right now, and it's quite a horrific description of the material world. And in the purport, Prabhupada says, yes, and in Krishna consciousness also all this stuff is going on. Yeah, so he said, it is going on. So this is
We have
material.
to be realistic. Yeah.
So it is material. But now Shri Mahaprabhu is saying, hold on, right? Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj is saying, hold on to the lotus feet of Krishna, right? And come out of all this. Come out of all this. So this again about Jiva Ado, meaning chanting, and then the tongue. Do not allow the tongue to eat anything that is not first offered to the Supreme Person, the Godhead. And Prabhupada is saying this is why we are opening temples. because temples means prasadam. You get the opportunity to have prasadam. So on the basis of his demands, therefore the International Society for Krishna Consciousness has many temples all over the world. And in each and every temple, the Lord is offered these foods. On the basis of his demand, the devotee chant the holy name of the Lord offenselessly and never eat anything that is not first offered to the Lord. The function of the tongue in devotional service of to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and eat the sadhan that is offered to the Lord. So this is why we have temples. So, just give that money, to the sick man who has a sick liver in the hospital. All right? Or give to all those beggars in the street. Give them money, give them food. Those who have done this work, they know very well that the beggars always remain beggars. However much you give them, the number of our devotees, youngsters, who wanted to do community service. So they thought, yes, I will take care of those street children. So how do you take care of them? Then try to give them education. You sit with them, you do this, and they remain as they. So what's the result? They remain as they. Right? So of course, if by trick of fate, you could say, if by trick of fate, a first-class man takes birth on the streets of Mumbai, right? And if by his good luck, you find him and you can pick him and bring him back to his original situation, So that will happen only by the mercy of the holy name, by the mercy of a pure devotee. I'll give you an example, Amazing story, believe me or not. So, every year, devotees, they sponsor Bhagavad Gita. And then they take this Bhagavad Gita, they go to jail, right? So one time, Gopal Krishna Maharaj and other devotees, they went to the jail in Bombay for the Bhagavad Gita. So they have a whole program, And then this one man came running and begging to Gopal Krishna Maharaj and said, Maharaj, actually, I'm a devotee of ISKCON. I've landed up in jail. How do you land up in jail? Because of visa problem, whatever paper. All right. So, if all of you didn't sponsor the books, right? If Gopal Krishna Maharaj didn't go to the jail to distribute the book, this poor man would have spent his life in jail, right? So immediately Maharaj came back to the temple and looked into this man's, thing and then got him out of jail. So these things happen also. So, I'm witness to this. So the temples, so instead of giving food that is sinful, that only increase the sinful desires of somebody, if that food, that money is given to temples, and people do give, we say people do give, and we see how much prasadam is distributed in this temple. From morning till night, prasadam is distributed. And every festival, either thousands, every festival, meaning every month practically there is a festival. By the thousands. So Prabhupada is saying here on the basis of his therefore, so patram pushpam phalam tuyam yume bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatahmanaha. So the food is cooked, offered to Krishna, and then distributed everywhere. So this is, if you want to know what is the use of all these temples, I'm speaking about that because people question all the time. Why should I give the temple better I give in hospital? You give them food and they increase their venom, you know. Whereas if you give them prasadam, right, they can become purified. If in their name, you offer food, they get the benefit. So somebody says, how? How? You know, like they're questioning this thing about offering food for those who have departed. You know? So Prabhupada answer this question. He says, you know, if you are in India and your son is in UK, right? Or you're not able to transfer money to him. All right? There is a method by which you can transfer money from India to UK. There is a method. So similarly, Sukriti, good punya can be transferred in certain ways. Certain ways. So when in the name on behalf of somebody, you're offering the food in temples, the person is getting the benefit. These are all, there are subtle ways that connect a person to Krishna. The temples are very, very, very important. Temples, then less there be hospitals, because people will commit less sinful activity. They'll be more regulated. One of the symptoms of Kali Yuga is hospital. People used to say, oh, you know, there's no hospital in this place. There's no hospital because there's no demand for hospital. Because everybody knows you just go in your garden, you pick up this plant, and you have to, right? Anupama Mishra. Remember, you told me your friend, I don't know, she had some skin problem. So much stuff, she was trying nothing. And what did you do? You pick something and gave her and apply and was gone. Right? Just a simple remedy. Simple, easy remedy. So there's no need for the huge hospital where you lose your entire wealth. And the amazing thing with this allopathic medicine, they never tell you, yes, you have to follow some diet. They never tell you, is it true? I haven't heard anybody speak of diet. They only think of dieting for slimming. They don't know about, you know, eating food according to season, according to your body type. They don't know about all this. So these are side things, taking care of the necessities of the body, as well as the soul. So text 17. Jnanatas sulabhamukti mukti yagyadi punyatah seyam sadhana sahasre hari bhakti sudurlabha. By cultivating philosophical knowledge, one can understand his spiritual position and thus be liberated. And by performing sacrifices and pious activities, one can achieve self-gratification in a higher planetary system. But the devotional service of the Lord is so rare that even by executing hundreds and thousands of such sacrifices, one cannot obtain it. Prahalad Maharaj instructs. Matirna Krishne Parato Satudha Mitho Vipadyeta Griha Vratanam. Bhagavatam 7.5.30. This is teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. Naisham Matistavad Uruthamangrim Sprishastyanartha Pagamo Yat Artha Mahiyasam Padarajobhishekam Nishkinchananam Na Vrinita Yavat. Again, 7.532. These shlokas ought to be discussed. Their purport is that one cannot obtain Krishna Bhakti or the devotional service of the Lord by official execution of the Vedic rituals. All right? Official. As a matter of social duties. You know, to show people that yes, I am Bhavani, I'm a Brahmana, so I do all my puja, everything you do. And then as soon as all your rituals, morning rituals is over, you sit down, you start planning your material life. How to increase your material life. So this is official execution. Niyamagraha. One has to approach a pure devotee. Narottam Das Thakur says, Shadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Payeche Keva. Who has been elevated without rendering service to a pure devotee? Because what happens? It is the statement of Prahlad Maharaj that unless one is able to accept the dust from the lotus feet of a pure devotee, there is no possibility of achieving the platform of devotional service. That is the secret. The above mentioned Tantra Vachana, quoted from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.36, is our perfect guidance in this connection. So what's happening is that, see, I always say that even devotees, they have this problem. So you can start up, and in that purport, in those purports of 10 to 5, chapter 14, Prabhupada is so like clear. His mind is very clear. He is not at all bluffing anybody. He's saying this is the way of the materialist, and then he's saying this is also the way of those people who come to Krishna consciousness and they again fall down into the material ways. So why they fall down? Because they start keeping a distance between themselves and the Vaishnavas. The pure Vaishnava means who will tell you only about Krishna, who will tell you your faults, who will say, you know, you are not doing things properly, you should do this way, this way, this way. So you can read this section. Prabhupada says they are like monkeys. They're devotees, but they associate with monkeys who are after sense gratification, and they again become monkeys.
Mataji, what does it mean to accept the dust from the feet of a pure Vaishnava?
Yeah, I mean, you associate with him, and when you associate with him, he's going to tell you so many things. What to do, what not to do. So in the beginning, he may just be friendly with you. All right? Then after some time, when we come closer, he will start to guide you, correct you, make you do things properly. He will tell you the truth. He will speak the truth. The truth meaning what is sat, what is asat, will cut. So majority of people don't like satsanga. They prefer the asat sangha or the in-between, those who have one foot in sat, one foot in asat. Dust is very heavy, you know, like dust of the lotus feet is very heavy. It's heavy. Sadhu means who knows the truth. Sadhus also want to touch cuts the illusion from the reality. And last, text 18. Krishna yadi chite bhakti bhukti muktiriya kabhu prema bhakti na adena rakhena. If a devotee wants liberation or material sense gratification from the law, Krishna immediately delivers. Take. You want material sense gratification, so that's how many devotees become very nicely materially situated. So give them nice. Many, I don't know who was hearing the talk from somebody. He said, did you notice that the devotees are very, very much flourishing materially? They have big cars, they have big houses, they have big this. So this is the byproduct of bhakti, right? Get everything nice. So Krishna says, take. If a devotee wants liberation or material sense gratification from the Lord, Krishna immediately delivers, but pure devotional service he keeps hidden. Prabhu prema bhakti na den rakhena lukaya. He hides it. It's becoming very interesting, all this. Text 19. Oh, okay, that's going to be very large. So we'll stop here. And next week we are going to continue. The time is up. All right. This is suspense now. How Mahaprabhu, Krishna is Lukaya. Prabhu prem bhakti na den rakhena lukaya. So that's why devotee is very rare, isn't it? Extremely rare. So better make ourselves among the rare. We want to get Krishna, make ourselves among the rare. Hey, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.